Now it's time to talk about the Tablet P itself. My unit was updated to Ice Cream Sandwich, so it's way more compatible than Honeycomb and can actually be used today. The Tablet P was updated to Ice Cream Sandwich in all markets but the US market, thanks AT&T, but with some help I managed to overcome that. By the way, in not updating the AT&T Tablet P, it stands today as the last and only Honeycomb device in the world. Good job everyone. I'll start by covering the design of the Tablet P. As I mentioned, this was one of the first Android tablets to reach the market, and Sony showed everyone how big its balls are by launching such a revolutionary device alongside a regular tablet in the form of the Tablet S. Sony did not waste any time waiting to see if Android tablets become popular and went full Sony from the get-go. Unlike Kyocera's Frankenstein of a device, the Sony Tablet P was beautiful. Just look at it. It is curved in the right way. Its color combination is striking. When you open it, all you see is pitch black shiny glass. The camera is located in the peak of the surface, no hump, and is balanced on the other side by the Sony logo. The bottom part has a slight lip that is not only beautiful and makes it easy to open, but also houses a stunning neon green LED that notifies you when you can't see the display. I just wish I could meet the guy who was responsible for this thing and tell him how much I appreciate his work. To me, the Tablet P is pure art, and I bought it for that reason alone. But not all is perfect with the Tablet P design, and critics were quick to spot several flaws. First, the bezels on this thing are huge. Although the separation line in the middle is probably as small as it could be, it is clear that the Tablet P could house much bigger displays, or at least be made a little smaller. It also has sharp corners digging into the user's hand, but I don't mind it since I prefer the look of sharp corners over Apple-style curved edges. I also think the quality of the silver plastic could be better. Scuffs show quite easily on it. Now, getting to function. Let's start with the bad. The Tablet P has the worst speaker ever to be installed in any mobile device. It is super quiet, super teeny, and super mushy, making it impossible to listen to anything without headphones. Even in its loudest, notifications are easy to miss. And if all this wasn't enough, the 3.5mm headphone jack has a permanent hiss that makes it practically unusable. I am a fan of Bluetooth headsets and use a pair with no problems, but it is crazy that Sony let it slip. I mean, there must be enough space here for a decent speaker, and certainly the headphone jack shouldn't hiss. The tablet also turns off its Wi-Fi connection wherever it is put in standby, and turns it on occasionally and erratically. This means that the device is late to pull notifications, unless you have 3G connection. Even then, it's pretty annoying that this thing sips data and battery power by using cellular connection instead of good old wireless LAN. And last but not least, the displays are super bright and there is no air gap between the LCD and the glass, but these are certainly no IPS units. Viewing angles are pretty bad, which makes it harder to use the device with one display tilted, and blacks are pretty bright, which means that the contrast ratio is quite low. The worst offender here is the color calibration. The LCDs are so cold and bluish that I shiver whenever I look at them. It is bearable, but by no means pleasant. Now let's get to the good stuff. First, it's a tablet in your pocket, and it's probably the only tablet that will ever fit in your pocket, at least until folding screens are a thing. Second, the experience of using it is perfectly fine. Sony customized Android well enough to allow most apps to fill the screen comfortably, and added some apps that can float on top of the interface, the web browser most importantly, to provide a nougat-style experience a whole 5 years before Google did. Finally, custom apps like YouTube and a gallery utilize the dual screen format nicely, and Sony's brilliance shows in the camera app where they put the viewfinder on the bottom and not on the top screen, separate from the camera, so you can tilt the camera half to shoot from your waist or above your head, just like with a fancy DSLR or a mirrorless camera. The Tablet P with its Tegra 2 dual-core processor and 1GB of RAM is not a speed demon, but it can get out of its own way. I can tolerate the occasional hiccup and the longer loading times for apps, but unless I load a very heavy website, the Tablet P is just fine in daily use. Ice Cream Sandwich was a great version of Android, and this stays true even today. 3G signal is reasonable with AT&T, and the modem is probably fast enough that the processor is a true bottleneck.
The cellular modem is what makes this device. After all, what good is a tablet that fits in a pocket if you go somewhere with it and can't get online? My bottom line is that I'm a fan of the Tablet P. I really wish the idea took off, and that manufacturers shown the same ingenuity and innovation that Sony showed in making this device. Today, I feel the most interesting devices are Windows laptops and tablets, and it's a shame that most Android phones and tablets are just cloned versions of the same thing. Oh well, for now, my Tablet P is usable, and I hope it remains so, at least until the next crazy thing comes out.